Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name's Boom Yeti. This game is Element Fission, and today we're going to be starting a brand new series on a brand new channel that will be going over the evolution of the crazy dungeons inside of Element Fission. This video today is going to be focused on the evolution of Boxing Club, taking it straight from a free-to-play account all the way to the top-end, fastest, highest luck that you can get. So if that's something that interests you, I thank you so much for clicking onto my video today. I hope you enjoy your time here. You learned something useful. If you do, please consider liking, subscribing, and with no further ado, let's get right into the evolution of Boxing Club. Stage 1, first team. Here we go. Free to play, extremely accessible, nothing here higher than 3 stars. All of them available from the very beginning of the game, several of them given to you for free automatically just by doing the in-game challenges and tutorials. This team functions at about a 2-minute clip. Once you have everything at least 5 stars, you should be able to run B10 with very mediocre gears. What you're watching on the large screen currently above me is a 1 to 2 day old account. Maybe 5 hours, 4.5 hours of gameplay. It's only defeated the initial story on normal. It hasn't even beaten it on hard or insane or anything like that. All of those units are 4 stars, and it is currently farming B5 right now to show its functionality, right? So that's your initial team that you can put together to start working towards a better, more efficient, faster team. What you're watching in the side window here is my main account, running the exact same team, just a bit better runes on B10. So showing you that this exact composition of units that you acquire very early in the game can clear the entire dungeon without much of an issue. Key points for why this works. And this will, I won't re-explain this in future teams. I'll just assume that you guys understand that the mechanics of the boss are what they are. The boss has a 20% chance innately, with no changes from your side, to cause you to glance, causing him to counterattack you, potentially freezing your unit and doing a bunch of damage. For every buff on your head, you reduce that chance to glance by 5%, meaning with 4 buffs on a unit, when it attacks, it has a 0% chance to glance the boss, causing it to counterattack you, okay? So what we want to do to be effective in this dungeon is we want to be able to avoid being glanced and deal as much damage as quickly as possible, right? Pretty straightforward. An easy way to do that, as you see with this team, is to put all kinds of buffs on your head, stopping the boss from being capable of glancing you, enabling you to just slowly peg it down with continuous damage and things like that until the boss has died. It works very well. It's not fast, but it's very, very effective for a free-to-play player, and more importantly, it can be scaled on luck as high as you would like it to go. Once your beginner comp has successfully been able to clear B10 consistently, you've started to scale your luck on that team, and you feel like there's a new stage that you'd like to move on to, you can start thinking about other concepts, ways to clear B10. Now, if you're free to play, let me tell you, it might be in your best interest to continue with a slow team, just scaling luck and nothing else, into the foreseeable future. This is a marathon and not a sprint, and while it might seem like it's necessary to build a 30-second team, because that's what you do in games like this, it's not necessarily going to be the best solution for you. If you run out of gems to continue to do more runs, there's really no point in having a 30-second team, is there, right? So first of all, before anything else, let's gauge and say, if you don't need a 30-second team, don't build one, right? Be content and happy at the pace that you play at, and let that be enough. Don't chase metas. That's how we ruin games like this for each other, okay? But if you are like me, and your brain tells you if it's not the fastest, it's not good enough, then you can start exploring other concepts, right? And so the very first thing that you can look at is, let's clear the waves faster so that we can get to the boss floor more expediently, right? And an easy way to do that would be to just add AoE damage. We use almost the exact same team that we previously had, right? It's pretty much just a copy-paste cookie cutter of what we were already using. We take out 1 unit. Let's do it like this. And keep in mind, I haven't vetted any of these teams. This is all my own runing for other comps. I'm just sticking units in here to try to explain quickly and easily to you guys how this would work. Let's say that you're a brand new account. You just pulled a bookworm, right? And you want to stick him in there. This is probably about what that team would look like. it is not bad, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's going to be considerably faster than the previous team that had no AoE damage, no wave clear, right? And yet again, 4 of the 5 units are plug and play. The exact way that you had them previously runed, previously built. Just take the bookworm, shove him in there, change to a speed lead. You could keep it as HP lead on the Occult Dancer if you wanted to. That's completely up to you. And yeah, this whole team basically works exactly like you would think it would, right? Here's our 4 buffs. So now we have 4 buffs on everyone's head. We can't get glanced. And the team is just gonna chunk the boss down. We're primarily dealing direct damage to kill the boss, with a few dots coming onto him here and there. But that is not our primary means of damage. It's going to just be direct damage from, our direct damage dealers. Because we're all tree, even having that defense down on us doesn't really matter. There it is. The third and final stage of the evolution of Boxing Club is what I like to call having your cake and eating it too. Once you make it here, you're really just trying to min-max both the speed of your runs along with the amount of luck that you're able to bring into the dungeon. To do this, there's a few different small nuanced changes you can make to your team as you gear things up to make it run a little bit faster each time. The first thing that you can do, assuming that you've got a Ninrat and the Ghost Captain, would be to go ahead, slap them in there, and start running a damage over time composition. This is based on, as you can see behind me, a team that puts a stack of damage over time on the boss's face. Then the Ghost Pirate blows that stack up, extending the dots out and killing the boss in one hit. Boom, just like that. This is the meta for Boxing Club speed teams. It's the way that basically every team is going to function on the leaderboards, and this is what you would expect to build once you have the units available to do so. There are several videos in the community already talking about alternatives to this speed team if you don't have a certain unit, so I'm not going to dive deeply into those. I'll just say that you can absolutely run a speed boxer team without a Ninrat at around a minute or so pace, maybe even a little bit better when it's maxed out. Alright, so if you've made it this far, then you've got a pretty awesome boxing team already set up and functioning. What's the final things you could do to really put a bow on it? Well, you could speed it up a few more seconds and enable your team to be the fastest that it can be. To do that, my preferred method is to just rearrange the turn order on your team once you have the stats that you don't need buffs and things out in front. You can take your clockwork, make a move after the rest of your team except for your turtle tank, and that's going to ensure that you get the buffs up only when you need them on the boss floor to ensure you don't get glanced. So here's an example. Let's run it like this. So my bookworm is strong enough to clear the waves with no attack buff. 100 crit rate, 200 crit damage, plus 2,500 attack is the biggest bookworm you really need in the game. Anything bigger than that, you're just flexing. Anything smaller than that, you're not going to be able to clear HQ waves properly. But yeah, 100 crit rate, 200 crit damage. Obviously, you don't need that much crit rate boxer, but if you build it for everything you need, you can use it everywhere, right? You don't have to regear it. So build the best one, you don't have to worry about it. So as you can see, if you use the clockwork to go after the rest of the team as opposed to before, then you shave a couple seconds off the run. You don't have to use his skills throughout the run, right? And it still functions exactly the same way because of how many turns it takes to get your skills back. You're never going to use the windmill and the ghost captain turn 1. Thus, it's okay if they get hit without buffs as long as they can survive one counterattack. The team comp works perfectly. Okay. So that's about it, guys. That gets us to the end of the evolutions of Boxing Club. If you do have any questions, please feel free, comment down below. You can find me on the official Discord. My tag is Boom Yeti, both in-game, in Discord, and here on YouTube. I do stream randomly on Twitch. Again, twitch.tv/Boom Yeti, same exact handle. If you've enjoyed the content here, please consider liking, subscribing. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Be nice to each other. Until next time.